Power follows blame. That's something I heard about a couple of weeks back, and thought about it, and it makes a lot of sense, because what it means is who or what you blame for something happening in your life, you give away all the power over to. Think about it for a second. How many times have you blamed someone, or have you been tempted to blame someone for something happening in your life? More specifically, something that's unfavorable for you. Because if it was favorable, you would probably take responsibility of it and say, yeah, it's my action that caused it. But it's a different story when it comes to an unsatisfactory situation. You always, or most of the time, tend to blame it on someone else or something else, on an external circumstance. And I don't want to lie, I do that too, and I thought about it, how this applied to my life, to the things I've done and to the things I'm doing. And I can think of hundreds and thousands of times that I've blamed external circumstances and external entities for something that I'm going through. And I still do sometimes. What we don't realize is this puts us in a position that we feel stuck. Because at the first glance, blaming someone else for an unfavorable outcome of something is the easiest escape. Because it's almost like a fight or flight response for us humans. Because as soon as we blame someone else or something else for the unfavorable situation that we're in, we feel like it's not on me, it's not on us. You think that it doesn't matter anymore now. But further down the line, you start to realize that it's the other way around. Yes, it gives you an instant relief to blame it on someone else. But essentially what it does is, down the line, this becomes a bad decision that you made, because now you're in a position that you can't do anything about it, because you've given away the power to the external entity that you blamed it on. It's almost like you're surrendering your powers, you're surrendering your control over things happening to you. And it's almost like desperate reach for a quick escape. But we don't notice that down the line, this one simple decision that we make is gonna cause us a lot more frustration, lots more problems. And I can see how I sometimes blame it on external circumstances and end up feeling stuck and feeling frustrated about things. For an example, let's say where you work at, you feel like the environment doesn't suit you to work at your optimum rate. Your managers or your co-workers, you have trouble working with them. But then if you start blaming them for what you feel about that, what you feel about them, then you can't do anything about it unless the co-workers or the managers change or they do something to change themselves, you don't have control over the situation. See, thing is, we always tend to think that it's not our fault, it's their fault. That's the frame that we're wired to look at things from. But imagine if we shifted our focus to think they're doing the best they can, and I have to get into a position to accept it and fix myself to be able to handle it and work with them in a shared environment. Or you can take control of the problem. You can set boundaries, talk to them directly and say, certain things are bothering me, and ask them how they can help you to figure things out. Because now you're taking control over the problem. You're free to take action to fix things. On the other hand, if you blame it on someone else or something else, you can't do anything about it. You're stuck waiting on someone else to solve your problems for you. And most of the time, most probably, it won't happen that way, because it's not someone else's responsibility to solve your problems, it's yours. And yeah, you might think there are situations that we can't control or anything because it's all based on external circumstances. Maybe environmental, natural things that you can't control, but still, you can control how you perceive them, because essentially, your perception of what's happening around you builds your reality. Your perception of what's happening around you is the root of your thoughts and your emotion, hence your actions and reactions. So, let's say something happened to you that you couldn't control. You can still control how you think about them, how your thought processes work. You can either think, I've hit a wall, I've hit a brick wall, I can't do anything about it, this is the end, this is my limit, I'm stuck now. Or you can think, okay, I've hit an obstacle, how am I gonna change my ways, how am I gonna improve and grow in a way that I won't let this obstacle obstruct my way to my destination or my goal. See, the thing is, we've grown up with this mindset to blame external circumstances, and it puts us in a position of inaction. When we don't take responsibility or be accountable for our mistakes or the situations that we're in, it puts us in a position of inaction that restricts growth. It does not allow you to take control, think in a growth mindset, and see, how can I fix things? How can I make things right for myself? How do I change my frame? How do I change how I perceive things in order to make my life better? There's actually a psychological term for it. It's called locus of control. There are two types, external and internal. People with external locus of control, they tend to blame it on external things. If something happens, they take the easy way out. They blame it on their managers, they blame it on their families, they blame it on their partners, they blame it on the government. Easy way out. But they don't stop and think, there are other workers working under the same manager. My siblings don't have a problem with my family, or other people that are thriving in the economy doesn't have a problem with the government. They think I am suffering because of these external things, but they don't think why someone else is not. Where people with internal locus of control, they tend to think, okay, if I'm struggling at this point, it means I'm doing something wrong. Because I can't control these external entities, but I can control how I act, how I react, how I associate with them, how I conversate with them. And they take action to grow, to change their ways in order to fit their surroundings and go through with their thing. Not stay stuck and complain. They find their ways. And it's so simple yet so complex, because it's so simple to realize that we do blame others for our problems. Other external circumstances, other external entities. But it's so hard to take control of it, like to set it to a default to not blame others and blame ourselves and take control, take responsibility, to be accountable for ourselves, because we've been doing it for so long without even knowing. But it's so important, because I feel like taking responsibility will solve a lot of our problems, because it gives us the freedom to stretch our arms. It breaks the box of limitations, creates opportunities for us to chase what's bothering us and go after it and make things right. If you've made it so far to the video, thank you, and I hope it helped you to grow, to become a better person. Keep in mind that if you are strong enough, if you're brave enough to take control, to take responsibility, and to be accountable for a struggle that you're going through in life, you'll be just fine. You'll get through it. Because at the end of the day, nobody's coming to save you. None of the external entities that you blame it on will come and help you out for free. You gotta have your back. You got to accept that you've made a mistake, accept that you can improve, accept that there's space to grow and make things right. And you should give a hand to yourself to get back up and keep moving. So keep in mind, power follows blame. Who you blame or what you blame, you give power to. If you want to take control, take the blame, make things right.